Hey everyone, welcome back to Noiseberry Games. Today I'm taking a look at a new game called Killer Inn. This game was released in early access on February 12th, 2026. Its regular price is $13.49 Canadian or your regional equivalent, and it's developed by Square Enix and Tactic Studios and published by Square Enix. This is a online multiplayer social deduction werewolf style game. Essentially, there are 24 players per round in Killer Inn. They are all put into this big mansion and sort of surrounding area. The mansion's got different floors, but it's also got like a greenhouse on the grounds, a cellar underneath. So it's quite a large map. And right at the start of the game, the 24 players are split into two teams. There are the wolves and there are the lambs. The game seems to try to divide the players about 30% are on the wolf side and the other 60%, or I don't know, 70% I guess. You know, a third on the wolf side, 2/3 on the lamb side. As you can probably guess from the titles there, the wolf's job is to disrupt the lambs and pick them off one by one, kill them in secret as best you can, while the lambs need to do little quests to level up and get strong enough to defeat 4 key guardians and collect those 4 keys, unlock a gate which takes you to a ship where you raise several anchors, and once all the anchors have raised, then the lambs or the good team will win. Obviously, as well as killing the lambs, the wolves also have to try and disrupt the various tasks that the lambs are doing. This could be doing things like, if they get a notice that one of the key guardians is being attacked, a wolf can run over there and just try and attack all the lambs that are trying to take down the key guardian. They can obviously also wait at the gate that the 4 keys are used for and try and disrupt the lambs there, or they can also attack the lambs right at the end when they're raising anchors. Whenever a wolf does something suspicious, such as killing someone, leaving a corpse, maybe they do a task, maybe they jump through a window, they will leave behind a clue. And as a wolf, you're actually able to conceal some of these clues. So for example, if you jump through a window, you'll leave kind of like a third of a clue behind. And if a lamb finds that clue, they'll have a third of a clue, and if they find all 3 parts of it, it could be something like, oh, now I know that one of the wolves is wearing something red. And once they collect the full clue, it'll show them in the top left, oh, these are the characters in the game that match the clue that you found. You know, the wolf is guaranteed to be among them, but it could only be one of them, the rest could be innocent. What you can do as a wolf is, if you notice that you've left a clue behind, sometimes you'll like turn around and you'll notice there's a little clue, a little puzzle piece on the ground. You can actually conceal it. Obviously, if you leave a body behind, you can only conceal it so much. When you go to conceal clues on a body, I believe you still leave 1 clue there, or maybe a part of a clue, but you can cover up 2 parts. In order to fight back, you are able to collect various weapons. You can get melee weapons, you can get ranged weapons, you can collect armor to give yourself armor, to give yourself more health. You can buy healing items if you've taken damage from maybe a close call with a wolf or something like that. You can also collect various grenades or things like stamina potions, antidotes to cure poison. There's a lot of different ways that combat can work in this game. But the best equipment, like the armor or the weapons, are locked in chests. And in order to open the chests, you need to collect chest tokens from doing missions. And in order to collect missions, you just go up to one of the staff members. They're just NPCs / vendors. You can buy stuff from them, but you can also get a quest from any of the staff members. It doesn't matter who. So basically, as soon as you load into the game, you can press M to bring up your map, and you've got like a legend over on the right. And if you click on nearest staff member, it'll show you on your HUD where the nearest staff member is, and it'll show you the way to go, how close they are. So right at the start of the game, every single game, you're going to want to go see the nearest staff member, get a quest from them. The quests are super simple. Some of them are literally just go to this location, interact with this thing, bam, you've got one of your chest tokens. sometimes they're reach this location in a certain amount of time. Sometimes you're shown a big pattern with a bunch of different symbols, and you just have to find the right layout of 4 of them on the big grid. Very, very simple stuff. Depending on what kind of chest you want to open, you have to get different numbers of tokens. So the way I would play it was I would always go do 3 quests instantly, get my 3 quest tokens, then I would go find the nearest gun chest near to me, go open that, because the gun chests need 3 tokens to open. I would get that. Then I would go do a couple more quests to get some money, because with money I could then go to an upgrade bench and upgrade my weapon. If I got a revolver, it's fine by itself, but when you go to upgrade it, you need, I believe it's 50 gold to upgrade at tier 1, 75 for tier 2, and 100 for tier 3, and you're given 3 options per tier, and you choose 1 per tier. So for example, if you've got a revolver and you're a wolf, maybe you want to do kind of a sneaky build. You can make your revolver more silenced, you can make it slow enemies, you can make it do poison damage. Maybe if you're a lamb, you probably don't care about having a silenced weapon, because chances are if you're going to be firing your weapon, you're probably going to be defending yourself, so it doesn't really need to be silenced. So there's good upgrade choices depending on which team you're on. And that's kind of the gist of the game. I found this very, very confusing for the first probably like 30-40 minutes that I played it. When I started it up, on the main menu there was like a how to play button. I was like, perfect. Clicked it, and it opened a web page in my browser, and it had a YouTube video that was basically, watch this before you start playing. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird that it just opens a web page that couldn't like embed a video into the game. Apparently not. It sort of helped, and then I hopped into a couple of games, found it very, very confusing. And then I realized that there had been another option in the menu. There was a training mode, which I'd gone into. Didn't really help me at all. I was very confused in that. But I noticed underneath that there was a tutorial mode, and that was actually quite a helpful tutorial. And from that point on, it started making a lot more sense to me. That's where I figured out the core gameplay loop of every time you start a game, you want to go find the nearest staff member, get probably 3 chest tokens, get a gun, upgrade it. I played for 2.5 hours, and I think I would actually play more of this. It's actually very fun. I did find it had... rounds were quite fast. I think the longest I played was like... I think it's still below 20 minutes, and most games are probably closer to about 10 minutes. And towards the end of my time, I was definitely having, maybe I'll just do one more round, because maybe I hadn't had a best game. You know, maybe I died really early. I was like, I want a real game. I'll do just one more. So I do find it is very replayable. Having said that, again, towards the end of that time, I was finding the start of the game very repetitive, because no matter which team you're on, no matter where you spawn, no matter which character you're playing, you just always go do quests for the first few minutes, get whatever weapon you want. It could be a melee weapon, it could be a gun, upgrade it, and then it's only after that your gameplay kind of deviates game to game. But I did find the start of the games a little bit repetitive. Obviously, the elephant in the room for a game like this is, how is the player count? How is the player base going to be? 24 players in a game is not a small amount. At the time of recording, which is 2 days after the game launched, it launched on a Thursday, and I did all my playing and recorded this video on Saturday morning. The all-time peak was on Friday, which was only 813 players. At the time of recording my video, which is Saturday afternoon, it's already down to 318 players, which is the lowest it's been since it came out. Like I said, it's in early access, so I could see potentially a small portion of people will be waiting for it to fully release. So I could see, as long as it makes it out of early access, a bit of a spike once it releases. but I can really only imagine that the first weekend after it comes out is going to be the peak. So I really do not see it going above 800 players. Maybe if they do like a free weekend in, you know, a month or something, I think that would bring quite a few people into it, and people might stick around. But the fact that you do need 24 people, or it seems sometimes it would start with like about 20 players. So the fact that you need at least 20 players to start a game, and it's already down to 300, is obviously very, very concerning. I think they've priced it really well. It's actually a really good looking game. Feels really smooth and fluid to play. Runs very well. And it's, what, the price of like 2 Starbucks drinks? I was surprised when I saw the price. I was definitely expecting this to be like a $25 to $30 Canadian game. So when I saw it was like 13 bucks, I was pleasantly surprised. I think that's definitely going to get more players than if they'd made it, you know, $30. But again, even with it just launching, even with a very reasonable price point, they can only get 800 players. It does not bode well for the future of this game, sadly. It's got really good communication options. It's got optional text chat. It's got optional voice chat. You can actually enable voice chat, but stay muted yourself, which is what I did. During the entire time I played it, I heard one person use a microphone, and they used it once, and they just said, like, get owned or something like that. It's the only time I heard someone speak. I saw someone use text chat once, and they just said, like, oh, this player is a wolf. And so I went and marked them in my... if you press tab, you bring out the player list, and you can mark them, people as wolf or lamb. So that was very helpful, but for the most part, people don't really seem to communicate too much, which is a blessing and curse. Like, you know, I purposely left my microphone muted because I just don't want to talk to strangers online, but most people obviously felt the same, just didn't want to broadcast their voice, which I think does speak to how manageable the gameplay loop is, that you're able to have all these successful games, successful rounds, without needing to actually communicate with your team. On Steam, they say they want it to be in early access, or they expect it to be in early access for about 8 months. Not too long. I'll be very interested to keep an eye on the player counts during those 8 months, see what happens. They also said that the price of the full version hasn't been finalized, but the early access price is a special lower price point. So I would probably expect that the full game to be probably closer to what I was thinking, $25 to $30 Canadian. Normally, once I record a video, I tend to move on from a game, whether that's because I've finished it or I just wasn't enjoying it too much. I don't tend to look at live service games like this very much, but this one intrigued me. I will actually probably play more of this, not right away, but I could definitely see myself hopping in, playing a few rounds in an evening. Like I said, it is very replayable. Quite a fun gameplay loop once you get past the initial confusion. I will say that obviously, yeah, there's microtransactions, there's a battle pass, like as soon as you open it up, you know, there's 3 different currencies, just stuff I hate. You know, there's reasons I don't play any live service games, because I don't like that kind of stuff, don't like microtransactions, battle passes, don't like daily quests, login bonuses, things like that. But as far as I can tell, those are only going to give you character and weapon skins, so it's very, very playable if you just buy the $13 Canadian version and just play round after round. Initially, I did question why they needed so many players, you know, 24 players per game, per round. It's a lot of needed people, but I think it's because the map is quite large. If you had, you know, half of that, if you had 12, you're probably not going to see people very much, and maybe if a wolf runs into a lamb and kills them, nobody would be around to hear it happen, and the wolf would very easily get away. It's kind of a tough one, honestly. You know, it's launched with not a huge player base, and it needs quite a large player base because every game needs a lot of players. Anyway, I'll probably be playing this sporadically during early access. I'll be keeping my eye on it because it is quite intriguing. I did find it very fun. Very satisfying on the couple of games that I won. Won a couple of games from on both Lamb and Wolf teams, which I was quite happy with. There you go, that was a look at Killer Inn. Thank you guys very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!